Hey everybody, how are we doing? Um, so this is this isn't the new LocalGov Drupal theme. This is, well, it might be eventually. At the moment, there's no kind of CSS or anything. But what I have done is I've created a kind of I did a stream on it last week as well. A mock-up kind of prototype for what a layout system might look like, rather than relying on something like Bootstrap or any other kind of design system. So let's have a very brief look at the actual code for that. Why is that doing that? I probably don't need that anyway, do I? Okay, and this is the wrong repo. Hang on, let's see. Can I get? What am I looking for? LocalGov. Okay, we'll close this. And we'll close this. This is the right one, I think. Let's close up everything. Yeah. Okay, so we got a new theme here called LocalGov_base. And we've got a repo for this on GitHub, LocalGov _base. And there's not a huge amount in this just yet. So what I've created so far is just two libraries, one called global, which just adds a variables file, and one called grid, which has our kind of our grid system. That, and inside templates layout, we've got page.html.twig. We'll be looking at that maybe in a minute. And then we've got just the CSS, which is pretty basic. We'll look at that though in the code editor. So what we've done here is I've created in base I've created some variables, one called width container. This will allow subteams to override the width of their container. So 60 REMs is 960 pixels, presuming that you're starting from a 16 pixel base. So if you wanted to use 1080 pixels or whatever, you can bump this up then to 66 pixels, or I'm not sure exactly what the calculation is, but something like that. But it will mean that subteams can just set the width container variable, and that will automatically then fit in with whatever their style guide says that the width of their container should be. The width of a tablet is 48 REM, and that equals 768 pixels, and our default spacing is 1 REM. Now we could and probably will eventually maybe make things like spacing medium, and that could be maybe 1.5, and spacing large, and that could be maybe 2 REMs, and spacing small, and that might be 0.5 in REM. But just for what we currently have, I don't need those just yet, so I'm not going to make them until I do need them. Sorry, my other computer is notifying me here. I might just turn off the notifications so we don't hear them beeping in the background all the time. Okay, I should probably check what the notification is actually in case it's something important. Let's see. I don't like saying no, it's not important now, because whoever's sending me something probably thinks it is. 9 messages. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to get back to those later. So then we've got the grid.css. What this does is, let me show you maybe the HTML first. So we've got here page.html.twig. So what I've done is I've created these variables here to check for sidebars. So if there's something in the sidebar first region, then we'll say we have a sidebar first, same with sidebar second. And then if there's something in either of those regions, sidebar first or second, we'd say we have sidebars. Then we create a container here. So this is what we saw a minute ago was going to be the 60 rems, so 960 pixels. So that's a container div that's going to be center aligned and max width 960 pixels. And then inside this here, we've got this div here called LGD row, so LocalGov Drupal row. And if there's a sidebar first, but there's not a sidebar second, then we're going to have sidebar first will be 1/3, and the main content area will be 2/3. And that just goes straight or so on, continues that pattern. If there's a sidebar second and not a sidebar first, then we have the page content for 2/3 first, and then we have the second sidebar taking up 1/3. So what that gives us at the moment is the main content area now is inside this 960 pixel container. Let's have a quick look here for container class. LGD container. And we can see that's here. And that's fine, but now all of our other regions are taking up 100% and they're going to the side of the screen. And if this was a very if this was a very large screen like this, you don't end up on a 27-inch monitor with things going all the way to the side. So let's maybe let's see, can we fix that up or make it just a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to core themes, classy is nice, not templates, nice classes in general, or default class for us. And inside the layout, I'm going to get the region.html.twig file, and then here we're going to paste that in here. So now we should have region.html.twig inside our template, and let's come back here to clear our cache just to make sure that the template is actually picked up for us. Okay, so now all of our regions should be using the new region.html.twig file that we've just dropped in there. So let's see, when we find the region content, and that's now using themes, custom, LocalGov based templates, layout, region.html.twig. Okay, so let's, in terms of having sensible defaults, let's say that the first thing is that the content inside each of these regions should be no wider than the content area here. So we'll give that the container class. And what this means then is that the rest of the region, so if the header, for example, could have a background color, that will span the full screen, but the content inside the header itself will be restricted to 960 pixels. So we'll say div.lgd container, and now that should center align all of our regions. Very good. So already that looks a lot better. That might be enough. I was going to suggest that we would then put in div.lgd row with a direct descendant of lgd row full, but I think that's going to end up doing the very same thing for us, isn't it? I'm kind of refactoring my own code and on the fly. Let's refresh this and see what happens. Yeah, that doesn't actually add anything extra to it. Let's have a quick look here now. So we've got LGD container. They look to be identical. The side of the blue is in line. Okay, and then if we remove these ones, does anything change? No. No, I'm not sure. Do we? Maybe we don't need the containers then at all, do we not? We don't need the LGD row system. No, I guess we don't. We just want the container in here. So what I'm going to do on top of this then is most regions, I think, should be sections, as in should use the section element. It's more semantic. They are kind of self-contained sections on a page rather than just divs that you can pop anything into. Some of them, of course, are different. Like, you might use the nav element for a breadcrumbs region, or you will use the header the header element for the header region, the footer element for the footer region, and things like that. But in general, I think most regions should be sections. So I'm gonna leave that like that. This is actually quicker than I thought it was going to be. Maybe we could add in a class here called LGD region, and the only reason we do that so is that if any other teams, their custom teams are using .region already, we maybe don't want to target that. So in terms of not overriding their CSS, we'll have LocalGov Drupal as a region here. Yeah, I guess maybe while I'm this far, should we do the same then with paragraph template, and no, but we will later. We'll end up doing the same with paragraph templates and with node templates, things like that. So we've got sensible defaults, so things aren't flying outside of their containers. Let's just have a quick look here with inline CSS. How does this work with the header then? So if we look at the header region, I expect now we can say something like dot region header background, we'll say red. Aye, that's cool. So that will take up the full. We'll give it a padding 2 rem and 0 just to see what we're doing. Otherwise, this isn't going to take effect because we've only got a link in there anyway. So that looks like it's pretty good. I can see our body needs to have the margin removed from the body. That's not, isn't it? Margin 0 should fix that. Yeah, we wanted that right now. I'm just wondering, should we put an extra? Yeah, I'm going to do that. So we're going to stick another div in here called div dot region inner. Let's put in LGD region inner and LGD region inner with a modifier for region clean class. This should be nice now. Let's see, and we'll get a second one of these here. I think that's enough. So now we got I'm actually gonna, let's put this up here as well. So we've got LGD region and LGD region dash region name. So now we can this region here then, or every region can be a modifier of the base region. Okay, let's refresh this again. We'll check the header and see what classes we've got. LGD region dash header, that's cool. And then inside here we've got the container, and inside the container we've got the inner class and the inner class with a modifier of header, and then we get the content itself, whatever goes into that. That's nice. I'm gonna work with that. So okay, that is that. I think I can yeah, let's pop it into, do I have LocalGov base here? I do. And I will, this region.html.twig file here. Okay, let's put this in here to our layout directory. And I can't really read this. I was going to commit it, but maybe we'll get add templates. I hope that actually worked. I can't see what I'm committing. Get status, new file. Okay, get commit. What are we adding here? Adds default region template. We'll push that. Let's just check that this got to GitHub. Adds default region template. Here we go. Pretty cool. Happy with that, and I think that's the kind of approach then we can use for sensible defaults for each of our templates like that. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye unless we got questions in Twitch. We don't, although we got 3 viewers. Hi everybody. If you got a question, I'll leave this open for maybe 10 seconds, pop it in and we can answer it. If not, we'll close out. Oh, hey Mark, no questions. Nearly had one. Oh well, maybe next time. Watching from MHCLG. Well, thank you very much for watching. Hi. Okay, I'm kind of hungry. I'm going to go have some dinner. I will chat to you all later. Bye.